What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Kickback on Sam Peligro show. I am your host, Sam Peligro. We are coming to you live from the Cider Session Studios above the world famous Two River Cider Company here in Sacramento, California. Right on. Hoping everybody's having a good Thursday evening on October 14th, 2021. All right, so I'm going to bring in my production team here really quick. Let's bring in producer Rob. We'll say what's up, Rob.
What up, what up?
Producer Marco.
Hey,
What's going on, Mosca? Producer Jared. What's happening, Science? What's happening?
Yo.
All right. All right, so I just wanted to introduce them really quick. They're going to fade out right now. We're going to talk to these guys later on. But I have a guest tonight. A wonderful guest, man. Somebody I went to school with, somebody that's from my hometown, Woodland, California.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, from Henry, man. He plays for the Nickel Slots. He is the drummer. He has traveled. He's done all kinds of cool things as far as music-wise is concerned. He's done it for all kinds of years. But before I bring him on, we're going to play a snippet from The Devil's Chain Gang by the Nickel Slots. Check it out.
Feel like credit, hope you'll pay it off somehow. But time won't always be your friend. The devil's got some more to lend. Don't drink the water, grab a shovel, try to make amends. Well, I'm on the devil's chain gang. I'm shackled to his leg. Each shovel full of dirt buries one wickedness I've made.
All right, so everybody, welcome Chris Amaral. Woo, woo, woo.
Orale, what's going on?
What's up, my brother? How you doing, man?
Not too bad, man. Good to see you.
You too, man. Hey, so check this out. So the Devil's Chain Gang, there's a youngster in there that I saw in there, man. Who is that? Is that your son?
That is my son. That's when he was small, and I mean he's big now because he's a Olympic weightlifter, so he can put me over his arms.
Okay.
He's grown a lot.
Nice,
I think in that video he was probably like 10 years old, and now he's 19.
Okay.
And, he had at the time it was really kind of funny. I remember back in the day in Woodland, I was like one of the only kids with a mohawk. And when he was younger,
yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
when he was younger, he wanted to get a mohawk, and I was like, "No, man, you got nothing to be pissed off about." So that's what I told him. He could grow his hair long. So he ended up having his hair long when he was a youngster.
Okay.
And so that's why he got confused a lot with his sister because when his hair is long, they look like twinsies.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
For sure. But
right on. So how was that though? Because I know that you've been doing it for years, and I know we'll get into all of that. But how was that having, your own kid on set with you doing something like that with you that you're passionate about though? How was that?
It was awesome. We had we filmed that video right above Corner Drugstore in Woodland. It's like this
Oh,
right
wow.
upstairs, just like it looks just like that. We didn't do anything to it. And we kind of went a couple days before, kind of having an idea of what we wanted to do, but we
Right.
weren't 100% sure how we were going to use him. And then it just kind of came all together. I mean, we were there like all day just filming and filming. And Jason Knight, who was the main guy on the set, he's done all our videos, and he just does. Him and his crew do an amazing job. Him and Sean Kim, I think his last name is. I could be wrong on that, but they did a great job on that. That was our first video, and then I think he's done 3 or 4 since then.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, you know what? I keep forgetting though that downtown Woodland is like so super historic that a lot of those upstairs areas from all of those, buildings or stores that we used to, fancy when we were young and stuff, they have like cool stuff up there, man. And it's really, really vintage and throwback and old school looking. There, you know what I mean?
I don't know back in the day if that place was a social club, but when you go up there, there's like all these small rooms, like bedrooms. And then there was like all this, bed or mattresses on the floor, cracks on the wall and stuff. There was one room that was a kitchen. So I don't know what used to happen there back in the day, but it was great for our video shoot.
No, I wouldn't even have known.
Yeah, it was totally
creepy.
It was totally creepy looking.
Right? Yeah, I can imagine, man. I bet you those walls talk, man. It's
I know.
crazy.
I could imagine.
God, man. Okay, cool, man. So check this out. So again, okay, so we're both from Woodland,
right?
So obviously you've had a little, head start on, I guess, learning all the music stuff because your family, is a part of that. You have your mom and dad that. So talk about that and how you started with all of that and how they influenced you.
Yeah, well, ever since my brother and I were kids, my parents always had a band, and but we kind of grew up in the atmosphere of my parents practicing in their garage, whatever, every Monday night or Tuesday night. So I think, and probably, I started playing drums when I was in 4th grade, when I was going to Holy Rosary. And, I was fortunate because there was always like a drum set up. It wasn't mine, but, the drummer in my parents' band. And so, it just was like a gravitation, like a natural gravitation. And I think, for my brother and I, because we grew up with that lifestyle, it's kind of weird not to be in a band. It's such a part of our existence, always having shows or rehearsing and stuff like that. So, but it was a big influence. And to this day, my parents still play. They don't play too often, but they still play in Woodland, and every now and again they'll do weddings still. And
that is awesome though, because because big shout out to your mom, because I didn't realize it was your mom that was singing at my aunt's funeral not too long ago. And I heard this angelic voice. I was like, whoa, who is that? Yeah, and you come to turn out it was your mom. I was like, wow, that was
she does have a great voice.
Phenomenal, man.
Especially, when she's, big church like Holy Rosary with that, such tall ceilings and the echo and all that stuff.
Right.
Yeah, it sounds really good. I even remember back in the day, they used to play, they would play during wedding ceremonies, and every now and again, my brother and I would come. And, I was just watching them do it for so many years. It was just like it's just part of our life.
Right. So I can imagine that.
Yeah, it was always, oh, your parents are in a band, blah, blah, blah. And so it's just always something we've always had.
Okay. So when you said you were playing drums, so drums has always been the instrument of choice. You never really dabbled with anything, because I could have swore. Did you mess with guitar at Douglas at all?
Yeah, I did. I played guitar and I played bass, but for whatever reasons, I think when I was younger, because my brother obviously is a guitar player. For me, I just always kind of being not necessarily the black sheep of the family, but just kind of being different. I was like, oh, I want to play the drums, and I just always thought they were cool. And, I just always kind of fell into the grooves and things like that. So, I think it was in 7th grade when we started at Douglas. I took a couple years of guitar lessons, at Douglas. And then, when I started getting into punk rock music and things like that, I mean, one of the main things with like punk rock is I was always drawn to like the bass guitar, right? And you'd always have, there's so many punk songs where you have the bass and the drums, just the bass and the drums doing their thing, playing really fast, and that sound just always got me. You know what I'm saying? So
always gravitated towards you.
Yeah, always gravitated.
Gotcha.
Sure. But I will say, I mean, I've played live, playing guitar and also playing drums, but I feel the most comfortable behind a kit where I can, that's just the most comfortable. And it's probably because I've been playing, since I was in 4th grade.
Right.
And, and I mean, I remember probably the first time I played drums in front of people was, I remember I was in 4th grade and going to Holy Rosary, and they had this big like Christmas show, and they wanted to do little drummer boy, right? And so I had gotten someone had recommended me, and so I remember getting pulled out of class, practicing with this piano player. It was like the 2nd grade class was going to sing it, at the church. But I just had my snare drum, and I had the snares off. And when I never forget when I started that, playing that song, it started with the drums. I was just like boom, 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 and the echo, in that church of that drum. I just felt like I'm totally in power right now.
Right. Yeah. You're just like, okay, I've got all the strength right here.
Right. Totally. So I think it just transpires, and I just always have felt comfortable, ever since. Just I can dial in and I'm cool.
No, that's awesome, man, because it's one of those things where you just realize at that moment that this was meant for me. I was meant to do all this stuff, and again, you're great at it. So obviously you can tell, you can tell that you've been doing it for a long time, and just you have a passion about it, and you can tell that you've studied it as well.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And that's awesome though. So when you got into high school, man, let me try to remember, and then I'm gonna refresh my memory here, because there was a couple of times where you and your brother, and I forget a band that you guys were in. You guys did some of that. What would they used to call those functions in high school? The Day on the Green, or the Spring Fling, or whatever you call that stuff. Remember that?
Yeah, I think back in that day, in those days, I was playing bass in Joe Hardcore, which is like a punk band.
Joe Hardcore. There we go. That's what it was. Joe Hardcore.
Yeah, and those were a bunch of guys that, I think at the time, my brother was 3 years older than me, so we never went to Woodland High together because he already graduated by the time I started, my sophomore year. But during those years, we were doing Joe Hardcore, and mostly cover songs. I think maybe we had 6 or 7 originals. But I was playing bass at the time because I love the bass and punk rock music, and it kind of goes and be a part of the rhythm section and so on. But
hey, who was Can you remind me who was in Joe Hardcore? Who were the members?
Oh yeah, sure. It was my brother and myself, and then Paul Matthews was playing drums. Troy Hook was playing guitar. And
gotcha.
We went to school with his younger brother Todd.
Yeah, Todd. Yeah, Todd.
Yeah, and then the singer was Todd Schroeder. And I don't know if you remember back in the day, we used to practice in the church basement. I forgot what street that was, because Todd's dad was a minister at this church. And so they had this basement. And so every Friday, Saturday night, we would practice in the basement, but it seemed to like always turn into some kind of party or something.
In a church basement.
Yeah. It was a church. I can't remember.
Oh, man.
Street. It was, right in downtown Woodland. It was right off of Main Street.
Okay.
I can't remember what street it was, but yeah, we used to practice there all the time, and people would show up.
Oh, man.
A lot of times we wouldn't start practicing until like 10, 11 o'clock at night. And, if it's Friday, Saturday night, I mean, there's Woodland, right? There's not too much going on.
Yeah.
So people would show up, and, we'd hang out and practice, and play for people or whichever. So it was, but it was good. I mean, that's how you learn your chops, you do,
man, because that's the only way. That's the only way you do it, man, because like you just said, it's just one of those things where the rehearsal just is not really a rehearsal. It turns into a party where you guys are actually playing. It becomes a show,
Yeah,
everybody just goes around saying, "Hey," because I remember that somebody telling me, "Hey, man, we were at the Joe Hardcore show last night." I was like, "There was a show," but it was a rehearsal.
Yeah. Remember back in the day too, they always used to have the parties at Nelson's Grove.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
So we played out there a couple of times, which is pretty fun.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Then, I really think the only I remember playing, what was that club? Was it called the Cattle Club? We played the Cattle Club one time, but,
Okay.
then, just everybody started, just life happened and stuff. And I
Yeah.
think
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
actually it was a number of years ago because Bobby Jordan also played a little bit, was in Joe Hardcore. And he had a show I think when he turned 40. So it was like, whatever, 8 years, 9 years ago. He had booked a show at Old Ironsides and kind of all the bands that he had played with. And so we ended up, Joe Hardcore got up there. I think we played like 3 songs or something like that.
Whoa. Wow.
Yeah, that was a long time ago, man.
Whoa. That is awesome, though, man.
It was pretty rad. It was pretty rad.
Heck yeah, man. All right. So after high school, after graduation, did you still keep it going with any bands? I mean, obviously you were doing something obviously before the nickel slot. So did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after high school, I moved to San Francisco, and I was not sure what I wanted to do with college. And I played a little bit out there, but I was kind of more in just experiencing being in a big city. Because going from Woodland and moving to San Francisco was like going to Disneyland. You know what I'm saying? There was so much stuff on there.
It's huge. It's a shock.
Yeah. And then I finished up at Sac State before I went to pharmacy school at UOP. And when I was at Sac State and I moved back to Woodland, staying with my brother, we played a little bit, but nothing too serious. I was too busy with school. And then it was funny because then once I graduated pharmacy school, I was living in San Francisco because I did my last year at the VA in San Francisco. And then my daughter was born, moved to Elk Grove in 2000. And I swear it must have been 2 or 3 months after that, I bought a drum set again. And that's when we started. We were in a band, my brother and I, Red Star Memorial, from about 2000 to 2004.
Okay, yeah, I remember that. I do remember that, yeah.
And then we broke up and just kind of, didn't play too much. I was kind of more focused on, my kids, and then just kind of, I did a lot of practicing, practicing the chops and stuff. And then Nickel Slot started in 2008.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
And then
and that's when you linked up with Tony.
Right. Yeah, Tony and I started first, and then he brought in Paul, and then our bass player, and then my brother came. Right before, maybe a couple months before our first show, and that was so I must have been around September of 2008 because I think our first show was November of 2008.
Nice. Yeah. Okay, so check this out, Chris. There's a couple people that want to give a shout out.
Oh, sure.
Anthony Jimenez.
Nice.
Give him a shout out.
Sweet.
Steve Amaral. He has a question for you. He has a question.
Oh, he has a question.
Read that right there. Can you see it right there?
Let's see. I don't see it. Where's this?
Okay, so he wants to know what your favorite nickel slot. What's your favorite nickel slot? Yeah, there you go.
Gosh, probably slamming doors and screeching tires.
Slamming doors and screeching tires, Steve. You hear that?
Our solo has a couple accents that kind of go along with the soloing, So as he's shredding and stuff, and we get to a certain point, I kind of start accenting a little bit with whatever he's picking, and it's kind of one of those moments when we play live that we're not looking at each other, but we're feeling each other, and we know exactly what each other's going to do.
Well, I mean, that's the whole rhythm section. Connection.
I've been playing with my brother pretty much my whole life. I mean,
I was just gonna say, man, you guys were jamming, in the playpen, right?
Yeah, no, totally. There's been a couple bands that I've been in that he wasn't in, but I mean, for the most part, every band I've been in, he's always been a guitar player. So it's, it's just like I said. I think it goes back to our lifestyle, growing up as kids, and
right.
We write together.
Just being around it and just being sponges for all of what you guys were around, man.
Yeah.
Definitely.
All right, so that we're like the Van Halen brothers, but just not as famous.
Nah, I think I actually like you guys, man. So but it's but check this out, man. So building off of the nickel slots, man. So you guys have done some traveling. So you guys traveled overseas or in Europe or something? Is that?
Yeah,
can you
we
talk
did.
about that?
We've done a couple tours over there. It's mostly been like Belgium and the Netherlands. And basically, I'm always the type that's kind of like, I'm always wanting to push the band. Well, let's do this, let's do that. When we did like the first video, everybody was doing, doing videos now is pretty easy. But At the time, everybody was doing CD release parties and stuff. And I was like, hey, let's do a video and let's do a video release party, which we did at Old Ironsides for that. And so, you know, when it came to going to Europe, there was a couple bands in the Sacramento area that had been on a similar tour. My wife was in a band. My wife, Carrie, was in a band, Rowdy Kate, and they used the same promoter over there. So I just reached out to him one day and said, hey, we're interested in coming. And he was like, hey, I'm interested in having you. And it all kind of lined up. And his name was Gert, and he always brought a lot of American bands to Belgium. And, you know, Belgium is just such a great country, and the people there are so nice. And, you know, we've made some really good friends over there that, you know, I haven't seen them obviously for a while, but, you know, we played in 2018, we played a festival in France, and then stayed in France for a couple of days after the festival. And my wife met up with me in Paris. And then we ended up going to Belgium for about 4 days and hung out with our friends over there. And, you know, we were in this town called Vasselaar. And, you know, it seems like everybody knows us there. And, you know, really quick, funny story. We were at a cafe, you know, hanging out, my wife and I, in Belgium, in this town of Vasselaar. And all of a sudden overhead, they start playing a Nickel Slot song. You know, just they're playing music overhead, and Nickel Slot's
what? Really?
And it was so funny because Carrie was like, dude, they're totally playing your music. And I was like, oh, yeah. And then one of the servers comes out and he's wearing one of our shirts. And it was so funny because my wife's like, you're such a rock star. And I was like, no, I'm just a state worker, man.
Man, that's awesome, though. I mean, so you're there, you're hanging out, and then your music comes on. So did they know you were there? Is that why they played it, you think? Or
maybe. I don't know.
Either way, I mean, that's cool because, I mean, I get happy when my son plays my stuff in his bedroom, let alone being in another country hearing my song. Whoa, at a cafe.
Well,
you know?
It's really funny because, you know, at that time I'm not sure if they knew I was there. But I mean, I knew the guy who owned the club. Or the cafe, but I didn't know if you know.
But you know what though? Regardless, man, that is still awesome. Because
it was pretty cool.
You're there, and you're somewhere, you know, miles and miles away from where you're home.
Oh, totally. Yeah, that's
you hear that. It's like wow.
And playing the shows at the different you know, venues when I mean, literally we stay in a band house, and then you know, every day it's the same routine. We get home from the show 2-3 in the morning. Simmer down, maybe go to bed at 4, you know, wake up between 8 and 10, and then, you know, start to get ready because they're going to pick us up around 4 o'clock or so. And then we just go to the next show and just repeat that for 2 weeks.
So that was my next question though. So how is it, do they organize themselves, you know, show prep writers as they do here in the States? I mean, do you guys already kind of, I mean, what is sound check like? I mean, do they do things differently, or is everything pretty much, you know, standard everywhere?
It's pretty much the same. You know, there's kind of like in, well, you know, we use the same promoter the first 2 times, and the third time we went over there, we used our, some, you know, friends of ours that we met over the years. They ended up booking shows, and they kind of have it's called Hopping Around Vasselaar, and it's not really like a car club, but they have a lot of like events and stuff like that. They call it, you know, Hopping Around Vasselaar. They usually do it like in the summertime. And so those guys end up becoming our road crew. And so usually, you know, when we go to a show, there's like, you know, maybe like 4 or 5 guys, and they have vans, and they have the, you know, sound system and all that. And, you know, if we play a festival, then they usually have a sound system there. But if we're playing smaller clubs, then, you know, they have the sound system and, you know, the drums and amps and stuff like that. The guys bring their guitars. And so it's, you know, same thing, load in. And, you know, the main difference that happens over there is that after sound check, pretty much whatever club you're at will feed you. And, you know, you just kind of hang out, you eat, you hang out, you meet people, you play your show. Usually we do 2 1-hour sets, and then after that kind of hang out a little bit, you know, sell some merch, drink a few beers, things like that, and then top it up and do it again the next day.
And so the crowd, the fans, the people there, they're all receptive to you. You guys have like a nice response there.
Absolutely. We get a lot of you know, because Europe tends to be so much smaller, Europe just as a continent compared to like, North America or United States. So a lot of times we get a lot of repeats at other shows. So a lot of people that saw us, if someone saw us in the beginning of the tour, they'll probably come to another show, towards the end. We've had some people that actually, there was a couple fans that live in Germany that actually saw us at Old Ironsides one time, and they were, the husband was in Sacramento doing work. And so they saw us one time at Old Ironsides, and we were in Belgium. Dortha, the wife, ended up coming from Germany to see us in Belgium. So it's just it's so much different over there,
Yeah, no, I can imagine, because that's why I was asking, is like, because when everybody tours over there, and especially if there's no label backing, it's cool to know that you guys at least went there and they, took care of you, in a sense,
sure.
So to speak. Yeah.
And most of the tours, we either break even or from, shows that we've gotten, that we play here in the States, kind of help support us when we're over there. So, we don't really necessarily go over there and expect that we're going to make all kinds of money. It's more the experience and just meeting people and playing music. I mean, that's the one thing that I will say, going around to, Europe and stuff like that, is that, music is a universal language without a question. I know it kind of sounds,
Big time. Yeah, definitely.
But it is. I mean, people just love music. And when you go somewhere where you have no fans and it's not or friends that, every time you play a show, like you play an Old Ironsides or Torch Club, you're always going to count on your friends coming. But
sure.
Whatever, 6,000 miles away, it's kind of a different situation. But I think, people are interested in an American band, especially if it's a small band and it's not like, a real huge band. They're just
not like us, man. I'm not sure how well we do there, but
but I mean, just coming out
10 guys over here, man.
Everybody coming out to the local pub. Everyone just kind of walks around and goes checks it out, and it's a
that's
time.
Great, man. Yeah. That is like
super fun.
And again, like you said, it's for the experience, because if somebody were to tell me, hey, you want to bring your band out to, like you said, Amsterdam or something, sure. You
gotta go, man. You gotta
on that. Yeah. Cause you don't know if it's going to happen again or be presented again, man. So that's great, dude.
The one thing that's always funny, every time I've gone to Europe, as soon as I come back, the first thing that I get to eat is Mexican food, because they got no Mexican food over there.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
Yeah. And it's funny because I've seen a lot of, for some reason, they have a lot of Chinese restaurants, and I mean, they got great food over there, I mean, the
sure.
food and whatever, in the Netherlands and stuff. I mean, it's all good food, but
you're not going to find a huevos con chorizo burrito out there.
Oh man, you're not going to find tacos over there,
Oh man. Okay. So you're going to have to buy your own stuff.
Every time I go, I swear to God, I usually pack like 6 or 7 bottles of Tapatio, because they don't have it over there. So I bring a bunch of, Tapatio is like $2, for a bottle here. So I always load up my suitcase and bring it to my friends over there, because they can't get it.
Oh man, that is crazy though.
Yeah, it's totally crazy.
But that's interesting though, because it's always, interesting to hear about other people's, how they, the customs and how, the everyday culture and how they, just all that kind of cool stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Great. Hey, so what's up next for the Nickel Slots, man? What do you guys have going on?
We're kind of, we don't have any shows booked right now. I think we're going to wait till 2022. And so really we're just kind of focusing on new material to record a 5th album. So nice. And that's going pretty good. I think we got about 4 songs nailed down. Our first couple albums had like, I don't know, 13, 14, 15 songs, something like that. But I think we kind of nailed, our last album had 10. And I mean, for me personally, I kind of prefer, having like, 10 songs or something like that. So I think Tony's got maybe about 16 songs he's written, through the pandemic or whichever. And so we're kind of taking our time, working them all up, and then we'll, pick the top 10 that we like, and go over to Puss Cavern and record them. And so
Puss, with Joe Johnston.
Joe Johnston, man, he dials this in pretty good. But I'm thinking, hopefully 2022 a new album will come out, and that'll be really good, because if we go back to Europe in like 2023, it's always good to go with something to sell, new material, and things
right. Definitely something to promote and something to
absolutely.
give to the people and stuff, man. Right on.
Sure.
All right, Chris, man, our time is up, dude, and we could talk all night, dude. But hey,
absolutely,
I appreciate
you having
time
me
out of your Thursday evening
to
come on the show, man. And it's much love. Like I said, man, you and I talked to Steve about this too. Is that it's like there's very few of us from the hometown that are still doing something, that are from our age bracket, I guess, if you want to say that, because you and I are the same way in the sense of like we started young, and we're never stopping. It looks like, right? So, but we still got to get a nickel slot show, man, and us.
Yeah,
and we still got to make that happen
together again. I think last time we played was a number of years ago at Harlow's. I think
it was about a little over 10 years ago, dude.
Yeah, something like that.
We definitely have to make something pop for sure, dude.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure.
Right on, Chris. All right. So once again, I appreciate you and keep plugging, and then we'll be in contact. And then everybody go check out the nickel slots, thenickelslots.com. You can see the website down at the bottom there. Follow them on Instagram and Facebook, right? And then you guys have a YouTube channel, correct?
Yeah, we got a YouTube channel, website, Instagram, all the things. So, even if you put us in Google and put the nickel slots, we're the first thing that'll come up now.
No, wow. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Instead of a machine over in Vegas or something, right?
After us, it's the casino game.
That's awesome, man.
The casinos.
Yeah, right on. Absolutely. Right on, Chris. All right, you have yourself a good night, dude, and then we'll be talking to you soon, my brother.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
All right. Take care, brother.
Right on, man. One cool dude right there, man, and he's always been that cool all his life, man.
Yeah, man.
I'm glad he came on. So, what did we have going on last Monday, guys? We had a nice little shindig here at the Two Rivers Cider called the Green Chili Kickback, the first annual of the Green Chili Kickback. So, you guys want to, talk about that here, Rob and Marco and Science? What's going on?
How about you, Rob?
Yeah, the Green Chili Kickback celebrating the New Mexico roots. That myself and Marco and Science and handful of us other transplants.
Right.
Our buddies Nosotros are in town. 9-piece salsa Latin band. And then we had Ray, who actually also from Woodland.
Right.
Green chili. He's also from New Mexico originally, but lives in Woodland. Roast green chilies out there at the farmers market. So check that out. But he was out and roasting fresh hatch green chilies. We had Fusion Alley making cheeseburgers for us. It was awesome. It was really great.
So good.
Yeah, it was, man. And it was a really cool thing seeing all of you guys. I didn't realize there was more of you guys here.
Right.
You know what I mean? No, but I'm serious because I didn't know Doug was from there. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Until that day. And then of course brother-in-law Chris
and my sister
and your sister. I just thought it was you four.
Yeah.
That was it. It was, you guys are coming in from everywhere. What's going on? And
I was saying it was the reclamation of California territory.
But you know what though, man? It was a beautiful thing though, because not only was it the first annual Green Chili Kickback.
Yep.
You had your buddies Nosotros in town, El Rey Chili Company in Woodland currently, but he's also from New Mexico. Yeah. But this happened on a Monday night, man.
Oh, it was jumping. Should we look at that clip?
Let's play that clip really quick, man.
You're right. It was jumping.
It was just popping on a Monday night. Check it out.
Oh, yes.
I mean, look at that. I mean, that atmosphere.
Yes.
All those people just getting down. It was just.
Look at that band. Look at all those. That many people legally fit on that stage.
They did. Legally? What are you trying to get at?
But you know what though, man? It was one of those things where it was like it felt like a Saturday night, even though it was a Monday. And I was just totally taken aback at how successful that night was, man. And that was it was a beautiful thing, man. In my honest opinion, it was awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping you guys will think about doing a second annual Green Chili Kickback.
Only with your support, man.
Oh yeah. Come on. Yeah, definitely. I mean, and obviously we had Good Day Sacramento come out that morning.
Yeah, man.
Got to interview Vince and stuff. So there's a picture right there with Ray from El Rey Chili, and there's Blanca, Vince, and then Julissa Ortiz from Good Day Sacramento right there, man. So it was a really cool segment that they did in helping promote the show. Hey, man, and it was sold out, dude. the show sold out.
Yeah. For a
On
Monday.
a Monday. I'm not
Beautiful.
gonna stop saying that. On a Monday. The show sold out on a Monday, dude. That was, because I remember, I think a week and a half before that, Vince was like, "Oh man, nobody's buying no tables. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going. I don't know what we're gonna do." And boom, just out of nowhere, man. It was it was crazy, Dad. So
speaking of Two Rivers, want to talk about this weekend?
Yeah, definitely. So Two River Cider's got a 25th anniversary Pachanga party popping this weekend. So talk about that, guys.
So let's see. Reading off the flyer right in front of your face. We got 4 nights of live music celebrating 25 years of cider making mischief.
Yummy.
So this Friday we got the Loose Engines playing some Americana. It's a free show, so totally come on out and support that.
Good stuff.
Saturday, our good friends Easy Dub be jamming some reggae.
Good reggae.
Yep. Not a free show. Just Friday's the free show. After that, everything you got to reserve on Facebook. They have links for all the events to get your tables and stuff. So we got reggae from Easy Dub. Sunday, our group, Red Dirt Ruckus, me, Jared, Rob, Doug, Dan, and Lisa. We'll be playing
that's an early show. Yep.
4 to 7.
Nice.
And then
Excellent.
Bring the
it
kids.
all up. Yeah, all these shows are like kid friendly. So there's going to be lots of stuff to do for the kids. There's like ping pong tables and all sorts of cool stuff, chalk, art stuff. And then Monday is the Grateful Monday with Love Mischief with special guest Sunshine
Garcia.
Becker. Sunshine Garcia Becker. No relation to Jerry Garcia, but she did play with Jerry Garcia band further in a couple of Dead-ish bands. So if you're into that Grateful Dead vibe,
just come on out and check it out.
On Monday is going to be.
I mean, 25 years, man.
25 years, man.
It's a long time.
That is crazy. And you know what? And you know how the flyer says limited ciders available. The Peligro cider is available as well. You should check that out. And it was also
tasty.
a hit. It was also a hit that night of the Green Chili Kickback as well. So it did well. It's doing well. It's limited, so we're hoping it doesn't stay limited. But hey, check it out. Have a taste. Order the Peligro cider right there. Two Rivers, man. Two Rivers. Right on, man. So is there anything else that we want to plug, guys? I mean, I know. Well, let me say something really quick. There is the Outlaw Mariachi Band is in Sacramento tonight from 9 to 11 over at the Rock and Brews.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they're here tonight, man. Over at the Rock and Brews. Over at Cal Expo. It's a new spot, or fairly new, and they are rocking it tonight, man. So they reached out this morning saying, "Hey, you're gonna be around?" I was like, "Man, I got something going on, but I will plug it on the show." So the Outlaw Mariachi Band, we played with them over in Fresno last month, and man,
great time.
They are great. They're great musicians. They put on a great show, and they're just great people too. You know, they were really, really cool to hang out with. And
how about
chop
Henry?
it up.
Hell yeah!
Can we get a hell yeah on that one there really quick?
Hell yeah!
All right.
Hell yeah!
Right on. So is there anything else we want to go over? Everything all good?
Cider Sessions.
Oh yeah, the Cider Sessions. What's going on with that? Look at that. There's a Cider Sessions. Go on YouTube. Everybody, if you haven't already done so, subscribe. Please subscribe to that. That is the mothership. That is the home base for everything that you see here. That is the home base for everything that you see upcoming, whether it be Peligro Brass videos, whether it be other videos that are just broken down, recorded in the loft. That is the home base. Do us a solid. Go and subscribe. Por favor. I will buy you a beer whenever I see you for doing so, but you got to prove it to me that you did. You got to show me on your phone where it says subscribe, you know, and then come over here to the True River Cider. I will buy you a couple pints or whatever it is, glasses of the Peligro cider. Okay. Right on. All right, guys, this was a good show, man. And again, thanks to Chris Amaral for being the guest. And our next guest is going to be October 26th. His name is Paul Fullerton. He is a retired firefighter, an entrepreneur. And there is a movie coming out about that guy, too. So
sweet.
Wow. Looking forward to having him on. Right on. All right, fellas. All right, viewers. All right, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you very much. We love you. And right on. Adios.
Laters.
Laters.